Busquets a bit deeper, Rakitic and Rafinha. I love that. And the front three, with Messi obviously coming behind Suarez at time to try and feed in the ball, and Neymar, who has been in magnificent form. Yes, hasn't got the scoring numbers of the other two, but man, has he been on fire, creating problems. And for Valencia, it's the same old story. Who do you mark? You mark Neymar, Messi pops up. You mark Messi. Basically, you've got to mark all three and try and dominate the midfield, and it's a lot to hope for.
Oro. Salvador Gonzalez, and you see Luis Enrique staying in the tunnel to say his hellos before stepping out onto the pitch, showing how much respect he has for his opposing manager here today. Of course, those two former competitors back in their playing days. Here's a look at the starting lineup for Valencia. Diego Alves, absolutely spectacular, except against Barcelona. Well, maybe spectacular and unlucky. Here's the three in the midfield. Enzo Perez wearing the captain's armband. And up front, the Barca boy Munir. There is no clause in his loan contract preventing him from playing. He'll be out there today. We are underway. Barcelona in the Blaugrana, the blue and red, moving from the left to the right, the white and black with the bats on their chest of Valencia defending the goal to the right. And you see a 3-4-3, but in many ways it tends to morph. Piqué having a lot more responsibilities in that three-back. Busquets does not drop back to help. You see Rakitic along with Iniesta flanking Busquets to a point. Rafinha and Neymar responsible for the flanks, and Messi, well, he just takes care of business.
When you're that good, you can. Yes, 3-4-3, much more natural for Barcelona since the loss away at PSG. That's what they've been playing, and just somehow it fits. They're more comfortable. Umtiti at the back is a necessity. The figures with him are amazing, and with him and without him, they've been struggling. So clearly he's an important player in this team. He's got pace, he's got height, and along with Mascherano and Piqué, I think that makes him a lot more solid in defense.
Well, flipped forward by Orellana, the ex-Celta wing, but shepherded away, at least here in the early going. It does appear as though Luis Enrique, with his soda in hand, has pushed Rakitic up a little higher than normal. Take a look at our players to watch. Munir and Neymar. Of course, Munir coming up through the pipeline as Neymar kind of forced him to the side. Players to watch brought to you by the new Just for Men Control GX, for shampoo that gradually reduces gray.
So two players to look for, both from Barcelona. Even though one's playing for Valencia. I don't get that. Why would you, as Barcelona, let Munir play against you? What if he scores the winner? What if he breaks one of his teammates' legs by mistake? There's too many things that can go wrong. Why do that? And we saw earlier, I was watching an attack here.
Mangala lets it pop, controlling Neymar, spins, turns, swivels to find Messi, forces his way back to the inside.
Just saying earlier, Atletico.
Oh, what a ball by Iniesta. Trying to drop it, Suarez, and he just misses Neymar on the run.
Atletico Madrid earlier today, they didn't allow Kranevitter to play against him or Vieto. Makes sense. Why would you give Sevilla that advantage? That's why I don't understand why Barca, what a good ball this is, why Barca didn't stop Munir from playing against them.
Orellana laying back, leaving that onside. By the way, reason for players to watch as well for Neymar. In this formation, he is responsible for a lot of the defensive work down that left side, but it hasn't slowed him down offensively. However, suffering from an adductor pull, a groin pull in practice this week, it was a question whether he'd even play today. Neymar with the in-swinger, slips around the top of the six, flying back to try and defend Munir. Nice little chip. Rafinha with the bump, but no problem for Cancela, and the right back turned wing charging up the left side before it's poked away by Mascherano.
Having a look here again at that ball as it comes across. What a good ball into the box. Just needed someone to get ahead there. Neymar very, very close.
Jose Luis Gaya, left-footed, had to turn his body around to clear that.
I was going to say, of course, the problem with that is you're going to get that all day long if you're Valencia. Little dangerous balls in there, and players like Neymar, Messi, Suarez bombing in. It's going to be a tough afternoon for Valencia. Only one win in 10 away, Phil. So I don't think their fans or Voro here are holding out for too much at the Camp Nou.
Mangala very busy here. Suarez wants to get it back in play quickly. Mascherano. Way back, I think it was game 3 against Leganés. They tried this formation first. And even though it ended in a 5-1 win, it was not pretty. Iniesta inside, but getting more and more comfortable as the season progresses, and credit to Luis Enrique for having confidence in the system and the players. Cancela charging up the middle. He's onside, and he's got help in the middle, but Mascherano there again to deny. Orellana begging, but it goes unrewarded.
Cancelo, lift your head. Look who's in the middle. That was a straightforward pass. Have a look here. On his own, just square the ball. Now square it. Now square it. At some point, square it. Wow, what a chance. He loses out the opportunity, but as you say, well done, Mascherano.
And credit as well to Voro, obviously using Cancelo as one of the keys. The Benfica youth, now 22. Speed kills. Trying to flip it back. Munir into the area for Mangala. Cleared only as far as Orellana. And his adrenaline got the better of him. Carlos Unsue, former goalkeeper for Barcelona, had been an assistant earlier, brought back by Luis Enrique.
That's the brains of the team, Phil. All the goalkeepers, come on.
But Luis Enrique would say they're not even footballers.
Talk of him getting the job, perhaps. Yeah, if he knows the players are happy with him and comfortable. Why not?
Goalkeeper as a manager, though?
A rarity, isn't it true?
Headed away by Piqué, settled in the midfield by Dani Parejo. Parejo bumped off the ball, the former Madrid youth player. Good look at Iniesta, the captain tonight. 7th minute approaches. Both teams with golden opportunities without actually getting the shot on goal. Orellana. Perez. Parejo. And again, using the hashtag Be in La Liga, Usman asks who would be the best suited to step in after Luis Enrique. Ball chipped across, headed back down into the midsection. It does appear to hit an arm, but bang bang play and body, or the hands close to the body. Well, who would you say would be the best suited? Obviously, Juan Carlos Unsue, very familiar with the Luis Enrique system.
Yep, he would be one option. Valverde, as a former Barca man and doing extremely well, would be another. Ronald Koeman, perhaps, as an ex-player, doing a very good job at Everton after doing a good job at Southampton. One person it won't be, according to the newspaper report, Sampaoli. I think a lot of fans would have liked him, Phil, but evidently the rumor from Barcelona is he's not a Barcelona man, so it seems he's not in the shortlist.
Some other ex-Barcelona players also would be kind of interesting, although as we take a look at that, maybe a little more fortunate. Ball up for Suarez. Mangala with the block. Down goes Alves to deny, and out for the corner kick. Good eye barking at the referee.
Yeah, good chance. How did the ball get to him so easy? Just brought it down in the box. Don't know if they were trying to play offside. We didn't get to see it in real time, but very close there for Suarez. Good save from the keeper.
Two other names would be interesting to see as Iniesta crosses this one in. Volleyed by Mascherano. 350-plus games. He's still looking for goal number 1.
Well, if he's going to shoot from that far out and that badly, he's going to wait a lot longer. It's a very difficult one to hit there with players running onto you.
Here again, we take a look.
Quick ball. They're saying perhaps he was offside. Keeper, good skills, not quite sure.
Maybe glancing off the arm to control, but great play by Mangala. Thought to be excess baggage at Manchester City. He's been an everyday starter for Valencia. Frank de Boer, in my mind. So again, another Barcelona player who comes through the Ajax system, but tarnished perhaps by his stay at Inter.
Yeah.
Michael Laudrup.
I think de Boer too tarnished after Inter. Valverde seems to be, it's either Valverde or Unsue, according to those in the know.
One thing with Valverde, though, is it's a different style. And even though he came up through Barcelona, or Barcelona in his past, it wasn't exactly the free-flowing Barcelona that Pep Guardiola reinitiated. But maybe, just maybe, it is Unsue. A lot of the players were asked this past week what they thought. Of course, they all came out as, what are you supposed to say? He's your assistant coach. No, we think he'd be awful.
Yeah, he's no good. He's clueless. I think there's one player you want to ask in particular, Phil.
And who might that be?
Yeah, Messi. Who do you want? Because ultimately that's going to be the decision. And maybe already has been. Maybe he's already signed, signing contracts. He's already sort of put his voice forward as to who he would like as a manager.
If you believe some of the reports, there are a few names there for players he would like Barcelona to try and get in the offseason. So why not try and get a manager that Messi likes? Something it's a little privilege, but at the same point, if he is the heart and soul of the team. Garay chipping it forward, and Munir made the move a little too early.
I'm still looking at Munir playing against Barcelona. What if he gives away a penalty in the last minute, Phil? And Barcelona win 1-0. I mean, surely it puts you as a player in a difficult position where Valencia fans say, well, come on, that's your parent club. No wonder you're giving away a penalty. Whatever you do, you come out badly in this situation. I feel for Munir here, and I just hope it's a good day for him without upsetting his former club. Or his present club, to be fair.
Mangala blasting it forward. Back drops Rakitic in that midfield rotation. Mentioned he was at the point of the spear. Now he's at the butt of the spear, even behind Busquets. Back to Alves. Mr. Interim, Salvador Gonzalez, Voro better known as.
He's done it right, Phil. 5 wins out of 10.
His 5th stint as a step-in coach. They haven't called him the interim or the caretaker now because he's actually in his 2nd stint this season, and he will be the manager till the end of the year, but basically a delegate involved in the youth ranks and the front office. And again, knowing that old axiom that managers are hired to be fired, he doesn't want to leave, but Valencia can't afford to not have him down there. Think about this. In his stints right now as the interim boss of Valencia's A team, coming into this point, he just had 2 defeats and 10 wins and 6-3-6 with a miserable squad this year. Trying to step over Neymar, harassed all the way by Montoya, another ex-Barca player who's found his way back to La Liga. Iniesta on the overlap against his old teammate, who forces the ball out for the corner.
Yep, you've got to ask the question for Voro, what do you have to do to get the job? He's done really, really well. 5 wins in the last 10, I think, is a fantastic response he's got from his team. Give him the job, why not?
Well, this is a Valencia squad that is in turmoil. Little tricky back heel for Neymar, in for Messi, wanted it back, but Mascherano was a little slow on the trigger. Peter Lim stepping in a few years back, rescuing them, paying off a lot of the debt. They restarted construction of their brand new stadium, the new Mestalla, a few miles away from the current one with 20,000 more seats. But over the past couple of seasons, well, they've put the hammers down and the fans have picked them up. Not exactly happy with the way things have gone. Bottom of the table earlier this season.
Worrying times. Gary Neville last season, that was a disaster. So yeah, it has been difficult for Valencia fans, and nothing worse than seeing your club selling all the players because of financial difficulties.
When you think about it, Albiol, Angulo, Albelda, Mendieta, David Silva, all played by Messi, far side Umtiti. Player who's normally over on that left flank. Jordi Alba, another player that got a start at Barca but came through and polished up at Valencia. Mangala clears. Titi. Back to Piqué, and just look at this. The entire 10 field players within about 40 yards of Diego Alves.
Well, we've seen that before. I think we saw PSG doing exactly the same for the first 30 minutes in the European Champions League game.
Into the area, Suarez cuts back, leaves Garay into the middle. Messi loose. Rafinha sees it touch straight back to Alves, and Messi can only smile.
What a chance. If there was about 3 different players who could have scored and perhaps should have scored, starting with Luis Suarez. One of those moments where Valencia were just surviving on luck. A little bit of an injury here, so maybe we'll get to see it again. But that could so easily and should have gone in, to be fair. Messi probably thinking, how didn't it go in? Let's have a look at it again. Great through ball. Suarez does well here, doesn't he? Turns his player, lines up. I thought he was going to shoot. Messi does, off the line. Rafinha. Oh, how does that not go in, Phil?
And as Suarez cut back, it was off Orellana, then Rafinha to Alves. You saw Garay's leg seem to get trapped, his right leg on the slide. So Valencia did dodge a bullet with the goal, but they might have lost a starting center back in the process. The former national teammate of Messi, and returned from his stint in Russia. And obviously an ex-Madridista. You knew that this match would be a red letter day. Already loosening up on the sidelines. I'm in Abdenur.
Good Suarez again.
Right
Absolutely brilliant. Oh. Sets up Messi. Had a chance a few minutes earlier, Suarez. So he's created 2 good opportunities in the first 15 minutes. Looks like he's really on form today. And that's the problem we were saying earlier, Phil, if you're defending against this side. You know, if Suarez is on form, you're in trouble. If Messi, here he goes, if he's on form, you're in trouble.
Messi looking for the upper corner, and it just sails high.
Which exactly proves the point. Who do you mark here? And you can't mark all 3 at the same time. So they're forever creating opportunities, this front 3 of MSN. Absolutely stunning, world-class, the best we've ever seen. We've used all the adjectives. They really are amazing.
One thing that I had pointed out earlier in the locker room was that in recent games it has been Neymar who has been carrying this team more than anyone else, and not even close. The fact that in some of the matches, you know, Messi has almost been a passenger. Maybe you could say he'd been marked out of the game where Neymar was able to break, but that's not the case today. Messi has been radiant. Neymar changing his shoe. It's got to be the shoes.
These guys, the front 3, they can produce magic at any moment. And really the middle 4's job is just to get the ball to them as quickly as possible.
Down a man. Messi doesn't care. Frees Suarez. Good work by Rafinha to start this one out. Trailing run Iniesta. And he almost made something of it. Garay limping on the sideline, or on the field a bit, as Abdenur continues to loosen on the sideline. Touched into space. Cancela in the middle. It is Munir lifting it across. Orellana off the chest. Plays it square, and Umtiti lunges to deny.
Good move there by Valencia. Once again on that right-hand side. Once again, you're wondering how early that cross can come in and what damage it could cause, and Orellana bringing it down really well. So, yeah, Barcelona will know that they're going to be very careful. They're going to have to defend well. This is a decent Valencia side going forward.
Again, credit to Valencia and Voro. A lot of teams pack in, and they are playing a cautious defense, but when they have the ball, they're stretching things out a bit. Garay, rather than test the leg, leaves it. Perez, the captain, slides in. Here's Mangala back in for the Argentine mid. Even if it seems to be effective, this 3-4-3, will they keep it up against the big teams? Lunging Piqué, denied Ter Stegen. Oh, so close.
Good save.
What a shot by Carlos Soler.
Yeah, good shot, but what a good save from the keeper. He's been in excellent form, Ter Stegen. I mean, you would expect him to make the save, but it's hard. Perhaps he shouldn't have pushed it straight out into the danger area, if I'm being super critical. Nonetheless, it's come with so much pace.
Soler coming up more as a defensive midfielder, but he already has 2 goals on the season. Both of them coming over the last couple of months. Barcelona youth player himself before sliding over to Valencia Mestalla. 5 corners already. We haven't even hit the 19th minute. Well, in looking for Garay. That has some backspin, but not quite enough. What if he's giving him a trial? Either that or Luis Enrique a little rest and recovery.
Yeah, if you're reading between the lines, you would think that Suarez got the job and Enrique's just saying, look, it's only a few months to go. Get out there and, dip your feet in the water and get used to it.
Or Luis Enrique giving his good buddy a chance to prove himself.
That's another good point. Yeah, impress the directors who are watching.
Nice from Montoya, who again denies Neymar. In for Soler, sweeps it through Iniesta. And a good tackle, Busquets. 60 degrees at kickoff. Partly cloudy, a bit humid along the Mediterranean coast, and just a bit of a breeze from the west. About a 200-mile trek for the Valencia fans who have made the visit. About 500 of them will be jammed into the upper reaches, well, if they made the trek. Earlier on this season, they didn't even want to show up at Mestalla, but Voro has given them some hope.
Talking of the Mestalla, wasn't there a bit of a nasty game between these two when they met at the Mestalla? 3-2 in the last minute, Messi penalty, but bottles thrown on the pitch, and I think a bad vibe was left after that particular game. So perhaps nice to see the players in the tunnel just shaking hands and trying to start this off on a more friendly footing.
Neymar in, Garay. Smart touch forward. Not so smart for Munir, a little too tricky for his own good. Into the middle gap. Suarez just gets it to Messi. They're trying to force him right, and it does staunch the flow. Good look at Gaia. One of the stories about this Valencia side. Mentioned Alba, but Gaia part of that left back pipeline. Piqué. Busquets drops to cover. Neymar. Dragging Gaia with him. Advantage played, but there might be some paperwork at the end. Inside, just past the flashing boot of Iniesta. And Alves grabs hold.
Yeah, difficult to mark Neymar, isn't it, when he's running? Yeah, where is Luis Enrique? What happened to him there? Is he left on sway on his own?
You know how long the lines are for the restrooms here?
Yeah.
100,000 people waiting. Luis Enrique, we saw him in the tunnel exchanging pleasantries with Voro before the match. Messi. Touched inside, but into the path of Neymar, and Garay healthy enough to deny. What a sloppy touch. Actually, it was Montoya who was back on defense. Almost trapped it for his ex-teammate.
They can punish you in Barcelona if you make mistakes like this. Good run, good first touch here.
Suarez poked away by Garay, and out for the throw-in. Barca getting closer and closer. Garay still lumbering a bit with that ailing right leg. Center back to center back. Let's try it again. Busquets just enough of a touch.
There was that question a little bit earlier, Phil. Should Barca play 3-4-3 against Juventus and against Real Madrid? Well, it works for them. Why not? And it certainly has worked. If you exclude the Deportivo result, it worked really well the last month or two since that PSG defeat. So if they're comfortable with it and it gets them results, then absolutely they're four. That could be a yellow if he's not careful. Yep, 4 across the middle. They're 3. You got Umtiti at the back. He's better at set pieces and he's quick. 4 in the middle means you can dominate as Perez gets that yellow, and the 3 up front are untouchable. So it's a system that seems to work very well for Barca at the moment.
Neymar showing no signs of that adductor injury, throwing himself into the mix. There is Luis Enrique. Ready to charge into the back post in the red and blue. Sails over everyone to the waiting arms of Alves.
A little bit too close to the keeper. That if you want to get a good free kick, just far enough away from the keeper so he doesn't come and it falls into that no man's land between keeper and defenders, and that's when you're likely to get some reward as the attacking team.
Cancela very active on a couple of breaks earlier, but Barcelona seems to have stymied that of late. Messi dropping back off the chest of Iniesta. Threaded forward for the Brazilian. Bumped down in the box, and he's going to point for a goal kick. Pleading that it should have been a dive, but I think Neymar may be more of an argument, although he walks away silently.
Let's have a look at it again. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, it's. I think he makes sure there's contact, Neymar, doesn't he? Have a look here. Watch his right foot.
Right there. Yeah. And you know what?
His foot's going out, though. He's looking for the contact, but it forces the referee to make a call one way or the other. We can't trust forwards to be absolutely honest, Phil. They're never going to be. They're always going to look for the advantage. They're always going to look for the contact. It's up to the ref to try and call it, and that's why I think of all the jobs on that pitch, the man in yellow and black has the toughest job of all.
Much made in the comeback against PSG that Neymar might have played one, but it's not exactly the attacker's responsibility to avoid the contact.
Agreed. That's why as a defender you don't put your foot out in the box. You don't lift your hands up when the ball comes in case the ball hits it. You just got to be super careful.
Rakitic on the break. Messi in the middle, and he's got Neymar, but looks for Suarez. And a desperate tackle by Gaia puts it out for the corner.
The last thing you want to see as a defense is Messi running at you with time on the ball. He is going to hurt you. And the way things are going, you feel that a goal for Barcelona is going to come soon.
Neymar from the right. Blocked by Orellana. Taken right back. Valencia can't even get the ball away from their own goal mouth. Messi into the area, deflects into the center. Garay pounces to clear. Looks like one adjustment, keeping an eye on it when Valencia does get it. You see Busquets drop back to give a little more help on the back line. Headed back, almost read by Iniesta.
Barca still probing, looking for opportunities. Great ball in there to Iniesta. Is he through?
And he is, and he's on. Knotted into the middle. Munir. Piqué back. Munir slides in. Could not bring it under control.
What a chance for Valencia. Keeper ter Stegen takes a big knock. Super brave to come out there, but that's a great chance. Munir through on goal. Will Valencia fans say yes? Well, he doesn't want to score. He's a Barca player. Comes back to that point again, but I think the keeper has to come out and make a really good save here.
It looks like ter Stegen paid the price a bit.
This is from the keeper. This is a great kick out. Look at that.
The run brilliantly. Piqué almost caught him.
It's one of the best passes I've seen all season.
But he couldn't bring that second touchdown.
Yep, Piqué blaming the referee, but from what we saw there, Munir was just onside. He just lets it get away from him.
From the corner into the middle, Mangala! placed. The breakaway from Munir leads to the goal, and Valencia in front at the Nou Camp.
Brilliant header there from Mangala. Absolutely stunning the way he gets up and the power he gets behind that ball. Ter Stegen's got to be annoyed. He's just made one good save. Voro delighted, of course, but as a keeper, you make one good save, you expect your defense to be a bit tighter, and not the case. I'd like to see who was marking him. Was it Rakitic was on his shoulder? Yes, Rakitic has got Mangala here. It seems a bit of a mismatch, Phil. Mangala's huge. Gets up strong. Rakitic doesn't even put him off. As a defender, even if you get beaten, you've got to be up there getting in someone's face. Rakitic does nothing, pays the price.
You see, Busquets had his hands full with Munir. And Eliakim Mangala, again, excess at Manchester City, perfection at Valencia.
Well, amazing game, isn't it? After all that pressure from Barcelona, and there we are saying, well, they're going to get a breakthrough any moment. Down the other end they go. Great kick out from Diego Alves to Munir. Absolutely brilliant. What's that, 50, 60-yard pass? He wins a corner from the corner. Poor marking. Great header, Mangala, and the visitors are one up.
Well, Mangala, not exactly known as a scorer, but he does have his second goal. Leganés the first. I think this one's going to mean a bit more. Now, if you're Valencia, obviously 60 minutes too long to kill, but you get a bit more conservative here. And if you missed it, watch it again. Facebook.com/beIN Sports USA.
I think you get a bit more energetic. You suddenly think, hang on a second, we're 1-0 up. Why can't we go on and win this? And now you're closing down a bit quicker. You're working a bit harder. Look at this, the commitment there from the white shirts. You suddenly think that a game that they were given no hope of winning, they can possibly leave with all 3 points.
You saw Gaia getting tangled with Rakitic.
Mind you, I don't think they're the only ones hoping for this result. I got a feeling a few Real Madrid fans and manager and players are also going, come on, Valencia.
And even Sevilla and Atletico would see Barcelona draw close. Still a long time to go.
Oh, yeah. MSN at Nou Camp, 60 minutes is a very long time.
Take a look at the way the table would be if this match ended like this, and it would be a 5-point gap, in Real Madrid still with that game in hand against Celta.
And Clasico at home, it would be all but over if they lose this. But long way to go, and Suarez on form, so
Mangala,
let's see what happens.
Cleats up, face level, but far enough away from Suarez, said the referee, in a swirling run there into the attack. Tries to dribble through two, but denied by Piqué. Now Iniesta the other way. Forget the midfield, they've put in an expressway. Back for Rafinha, and the slide from Enzo Perez denies.
Good defending, Valencia. They're going to have to do this for the rest of the match, I would guess, because Barca are going to come at them.
Little tangle, sees Suarez take a tumble.
Look at it again. Mangala getting up so well, but for me, Rakitic, if he's your man, you've got to at least lean into him, do something. But I think it's also taking away from Mangala because he gets up and turns his body in midair and guides it into the corner. It's a great header under pressure.
A bit of a race. Piqué trying to get there and just. Cancela, if he had been able to get around the big man, would have been off to the races. Things starting to boil over a bit. Barcelona smelling trouble. Again, what a turnaround.
bet the Barca fans are thinking, what's going on, guys? We didn't think that you were going to do it against PSG and you pull off a minor miracle. We think you'll go to Deportivo and win and you lose. And here we're expecting you to thump 5 or 6 past Valencia and you're 1 down. It's a bit of a roller coaster for Barca fans.
Almost drops into the path of Messi, but Mangala makes it difficult, and out it goes. Goal kick. Well, Chile and Bolivia in his future, but right now, if he wasn't thinking Valencia, he is. Of course, Luis Suarez with a big match against Neymar and Brazil. Check out beInSports.com for more. Finding the gap, Suarez quickly tucks it wide, and he hits the bullseye at the back post. Quick thinking by Neymar, marksmanship from the Uruguayan.
Brilliant from Neymar, early throw, but that man was looking for the ball. He wanted it, he made himself available. He's already created 2 or 3 chances in this match, and you felt that he was going to score something. Luis Suarez, absolutely brilliant, and well done Neymar for looking for. Look at that early throw. But Suarez makes the opportunity, makes the chance. It just bends it full. Puts a really good bend on that to get around Alves and inside that post. Here we see it again. Look at him. Look at the ball. Bends it, curls it. Oh, brilliant.
Now here they come again. Tied at 1, looking for the lead. Messi with the shot outside the area. And starting to will this Barcelona side forward.
Look at all those bodies behind the ball in white. Virtually the entire team back, defending, closing down. Working really hard not to give Barcelona any opportunities.
If you missed it, watch it again. Facebook.com/beInSportsUSA. Well-timed run. Iniesta almost brought it down. Montoya with him step for step, though.
Look at how Rafinha's right on the touchline. They really stretch you. Neymar's on the 1 touchline, Rafinha on this touchline. As the ball comes to the keeper, and so they stretch you, they force you to push out wide, and gaps open up in between the centre backs because they're so far apart.
Back comes Iniesta. Those 3 back, and the wall of midfielders. A lot of running for Barcelona. Into the middle. Rafinha throws his body in front but maintains possession. Ball's in for Suarez, edge of the area. There was a collision. Mangala saying yes it was, but Messi down in pain, and it looks like the card is already out. He's got red and yellow. It would be harsh for a red, but Mangala going in the book.
Yeah, it should be a yellow. It's a slightly mistimed tackle. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. I think the referee's saying as much.
And Mangala accepts it.
But you don't want to be giving free kicks to Messi and co on the edge of your box like that. That is asking for trouble. What are the odds Messi bends us into one of the top corners?
Well, he does have a habit of getting even.
Interesting stat, Phil. The goalkeeper that Messi scored most against is
Diego Alves.
You got it. 19 goals he scored against him. So Alves will be looking at this going, no, come on.
And I
not
still
you
remember
again.
Almeria, where he had an outstanding game. If I recall, it was about 7 or 8 saves in an 8-1 defeat, and he still could have been man of the match.
8-1 defeat.
And again, the Lionel Messi watch continues. Neymar, of course, that dramatic free kick that helped the comeback against PSG, but this is a case of pick your poison.
Deja vu, is it for Diego Alves?
Set up a little more for the right footer, but it is Messi. It is Messi. And just over.
Just over, not too far off, and it comes so quickly as a goalkeeper. You've hardly got time to move. Have a look at it. And he's actually going the goalkeeper's side. He was thinking that maybe Diego Alves would try and go to his right and cover the wall. In the end, just a bit too high. Here's the PK said he was offside. I don't think so. As that ball was hit, Munir was level. What a kick from the keeper, Diego Alves, though. Munir just losing it, losing control of it, and yep, ter Stegen takes a boot in the groin. Occupational hazard, I'm afraid.
Nice from Munir. Back inside for Soler. Getting more involved. Back into the run. Trying to feed it into the middle for Cancela, but Munir and his left foot fails. Now out the other way. This is a mano-a-mano battle. Both teams fighting tooth and nail. Messi off the second touch. Iniesta almost caressed that back behind himself into the path of Messi, but cleared.
Luis Enrique troubled there. He knows they absolutely have to win this Barcelona to keep that pressure on Real Madrid. Lose this and it virtually is title over. Even a draw won't be good enough.
The area, good eye. Able to clear it back to midfield. It has been a busy first half, and we'll be recapping it in entirety as well as the rest of round 28 on our Volkswagen halftime show in mere moments. Good eye. Battling. Suarez just gets a touch, which drives it away. Suarez still got it through Alves, but they're saying it had crossed the goal line. Barely.
Yeah, I'd like to see that again. The goalkeeper just left it, Diego Alves. It's a risky maneuver, but it paid off in the end. The linesman agreeing with him that it did go out. But once again, Luis Suarez, what a player this man is. Determined. It's, look, is it? Yeah.
You know, we're looking at it from an angle, but the ball has to go completely across.
Yeah.
If it did, it was by a couple blades of grass.
I just love his attitude, Suarez. Tough, fights for everything. And if there's anybody you want on your side when the chips are down, it would be a Luis Suarez.
See, that's the key. On your team. Yeah. He's the type of guy you hate to play against.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, he's physically tough. He'll leave his mark on you. He'll sort of cause you to give away fouls and penalties. He must be every central defender's nightmare. But when he's on your team, wow. And when you can add Messi and Neymar to it, then you're in heaven.
Iniesta held up, and the cynical play will get Dani Parejo in the book.
Yep. Unnecessary, Phil. We say it time and time again. Don't give away cheap yellows, because just now you mistime a tackle, a genuine tackle, and get a second yellow and you're off. Don't do that. The pullbacks, the arguing with the referees, those are all very cheap yellows. Another one that drives me nuts is taking your shirt off when you score a goal and getting booked for that. Why? It's just silly.
Well, is it a silly card or a silly violation?
Well, it is the rules, so stick with the rules, in which case it's a silly player who gets booked for that.
Ball in, gets around Mangala, flying in Suarez. Mangala reached back, and if so, that's his second, but it would have been a breakaway regardless. And what had been a dream start is rapidly turning into a nightmare for Valencia. A penalty and now down a man.
Crucial moment. Who creates it again? Luis Suarez. Great ball from Messi, but Suarez causing all sorts of problems. And if you're Mangala, let him go. You've still got a goalkeeper there. Don't pull him back. Don't do anything. Don't hold on to him. Nah, you can see it's a small tug, but it's a tug. And as soon as Suarez feels it, down he goes. He knows he's got the penalty and red card as well, a second yellow. Changes the game entirely, but that's the problem, Phil, when you play against Barcelona. They are so good in so many areas. It's very difficult. Easy for us to say, don't do this, don't do that, but they are so good that you end up making mistakes and getting punished and going down to 10 men in this case.
So now Messi from the spot. He is a perfect 3 for 3. Meanwhile, Diego Alves, the other side, there is no goalkeeper in the history of the game who has been as good. And he almost stops it, but Messi with a cannonball down the middle. Barcelona comes from behind. They've taken the lead.
Messi against Diego Alves, rather, 20 goals. The goalkeeper he scored against most often. And for the poor goalkeeper, deja vu once again. Messi, absolutely superb. But I still give the credit. Luis Suarez made that happen. Messi did put a great, through ball for him. But Suarez made it happen. He forced the situation. Barcelona, perfect timing, Phil, to go 2-1 up just before halftime. And you know that the opposition, Valencia, are down to 10 men.
Well, two things of note there. Up until that penalty kick, Diego Alves had saved, not missed, had saved more penalties than he had allowed. And this year, he had stopped 3 of the 5. But Lionel Messi now 4 for 4. Another little interesting twist is, remember, last year, chance now to try and reclaim, sneaks inside, tucked into the corner, and just like that, Munir almost apologizing to the home crowd. Jose Luis Gaya flying into the attack, and he finds Munir. Sloppy defense from Barcelona, and we are back in a game.
Luis Enrique's thinking, what is going on here today? This is driving me nuts. But a good ball through there, great ball through, lovely pass. Munir finishes in style against his club. And will it cost him in the long run?
Piqué a little late coming over, but that's the danger with 3 in the back. 3 in the back gives you the midfield, which Barcelona had problems with, but the back becomes even more vulnerable.
Yep. It certainly does. But 2-2, game on here. Although down to 10 men, Valencia, it's going to be a tough second half for them. And you still think Barcelona will score a lot more than they'll concede. But well done, Valencia. They're certainly making a game of it.
I mentioned last year, Lionel Messi missed 4 of his 7 penalties. Today, he makes his 4th of 4. Here, the first, Mangala, he would be a storyline, not once but twice. And we are level at the half at 2 goals apiece. It is Barcelona who have the man advantage. And here from our 360 view, Luis Suarez, not a lot left, but he found that one little thread inside the far post. 2-2 at the half.